What's going on, everybody? I'm Quality Time. Welcome to Quality Time's Fits and Thrifts. This is the first official episode of the channel. Thank you all for being here and tuning in. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So today's episode is going to be about thrift haul. Just everything that I've thrifted throughout this week, and mainly some of my favorite pieces that I found this week, as I found many. Um, But quick tidbit before we get into that. I wanted to talk about this bag that I have sitting here with all the goodies inside. Um, I don't feel like adjusting it to show where it is yet, so I'll probably show it on the next episode. But cool and funny story about this bag. I want to say maybe in 2011, 2012, when I was working for Buffalo Exchange, uh, my manager at the time's boyfriend, shouts out to Dane, really cool dude, cool realtor. Um, he would just like give me stuff that he found in like old houses or whatever that he was selling or thinking about purchasing and stuff like that. And one day he came in and he gave me this. I guess it can be considered vintage, but I still to this day haven't found anything about it online. But it's a Marc Jacobs surplus bag. So like a think of an army rucksack style bag. Excuse me. It has two straps. This is the back over here. Actually, it has two straps on it for you to put on your back. One of them is busted. But the funny thing about the bag is that during my time at Buffalo Exchange, I got rid of so many different items that I shouldn't have never sold. I should have just held on to and archived them. But things were moving fast. I was seeing so many different pieces at that time, and I sold the bag. I forget what year, and I like almost immediately regretted it. And someone else bought it. Customer bought it, and would it be in 2024? So sometime last year, one of my coworkers that I was working with at the time is still there now. She hit me up, was like, "Hey, the bag is back," and I'm like, "What bag?" She's like, "The Marc Jacobs bag," and I was like in complete disbelief. I didn't believe her any of that, but I'm like, you know what? All right, cool. I'll be there the next day, tomorrow to pick it up. I went inside. She was like, "Yeah, a customer came to sell." And he had this bag. I said, are you selling this bag too? He was like, yeah. He's like, great, because my old coworker has been like talking about this bag since he sold it in. Like he's going to be so happy that you're selling this bag back. So yeah, we've been reunited after like almost 8 or 9 years. Um, as I said, I'll show you guys the cool details and everything maybe on the next episode, or actually when we at the end of this video when we're done emptying it out. But yeah, so let's get into it. The first item we have here is one of the ever so popular brands right now that has the streets on fire. A pair of ASIC DS trainer women's. I feel like this silhouette is more so a 2000 style. I don't think they still make this. I could be wrong. I'll fact check that later. But yeah, this pair is pretty cool. They're classic, silver gray colorway with a little hit of vault. Um, Pretty clean actually. I forget how much I paid for these, but yeah, women's 8.5 on these guys. Uh, and next we have a pair of kids Alexander McQueen platform sneakers trainer situations. Not in the greatest condition, but definitely can get cleaned up by myself or my partner. Really surprised when I found these. Paid $6.50. Believe it or not, I actually still have the tag inside. I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, I was very surprised to find these because I think which thrift store I went to find these, I didn't find much there, and I think this was like the only item I did find. But yeah, really, really excited on those guys. Next, we have this amazing, amazing piece from Guess Sport, a line that I didn't know they even had during the 90s, I assume. It's like an anarch style windbreaker situation. Not sure if it's packable, but if it is, that would be dope. I'll check on that and report back to you guys. Yeah, really, really love that in size large. Complete like 90s situation on that. Um, Next, we have this cool green Psycho Bunny polo shirt. I always make fun of Psycho Bunny, excuse me, I just feel like it was a brand that was actually very popular when I was working for Buffalo Exchange. But they're still going strong. Obviously, people are still wearing it. So I picked this little guy up for I think maybe $6. Yeah. I actually love like this one in particular because it's my favorite color, green. Shameless plug. Next we have this was my top two favorite. I'm not gonna say my favorite. This Brain Dead. I forget the name of the tea, but it's definitely from last season. Um, I don't come across Brain Dead stuff too often because I just believe it's a very heavy West Coast type situation brand. But I love their graphics. Um, yeah, this is just really good. Really good graphic design on this. It's extra large. Kind of wish it was my size, even though I don't need any more black t-shirts. Next up, we have forgot about these vintage Christian Dior like track style shorts. I'm going to assume they're for ladies, but you know, guys, if you're feeling friskies, might have belonged to you as well during that time back in the day. Very want to say 80s. They remind me, take me back to like when the Jacksons were growing up. Jackson 5 had grown up, and they were wearing like their afros out, like little short shorts and high socks and stuff. Don't know if they were wearing Christian Dior at that time, but you know. Next up, we have this vintage champion Terry Allen Redskins jersey, and of course, whenever I see the number 21, I don't think of the rapper. I think of Deion Sanders. Not super familiar with Terry Allen. I didn't learn of him until I found this jersey. But you know, bias. I have family in the DMV area and friends, of course. But so you know, it's Eagles to the end. Excuse me. But I always love the Redskins color. Just this burgundy is very fall. And ooh, this was a goodie too. All right, everything I pulled out of the bag is my favorite. I lied. This vintage Nike Randy Moss Vikings jersey. Growing up, I love sports as much as any kid, male or female. And you know, playing football on the block, you catch a pass over somebody, you yell Moss just as much as you shoot a basketball with somebody during the '90s, you yell Jordan. So this was definitely a super nostalgic piece for me. And last but not least, this little baby, '90s starter Eagles puffer coat. Now this one is very special to me because immediately, excuse me, when I saw it, I thought of my uncle Charles who passed away in '98, and no pun intended, he was a pretty big fella, and but he was also the biggest sports Philadelphia sports fan that I knew. And I can vividly remember as a kid, I would like sit with he and my mom, um, who was one of his main caretakers as he passed away from multiple sclerosis. I would sit with him and watch basketball and football all the time. Even wasn't a Philly team, but he loved Jordan as well. And I can still remember watching with him the Jordan's last ring that he won in '98. So okay, that's the end of the bag. Let me show you guys the detailing on this Marc Jacobs rucksack style bag. The straps on the back are busted that the previous owner did. I didn't do that, I promise. Um, but I like the distressing and everything on there. Some rings and stuff missing up top. But yeah, it's super faded. I'm guessing the person either like super wore it or like washed it or something at some point. But I don't know if you guys can see it. It says like Marc Jacobs surplus right here. Definitely one of my favorite bags. One of my favorite larger bags that I own, as I don't get to wear it too often unless I'm like lugging stuff around to the store or outsourcing and stuff like that. Yeah, so that completes today's episode. As I said in the beginning, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'm Quality Time, and thank you guys for coming through.